Good afternoon, lovely ladies and gentlemen, if there are any gentlemen around. Louise Parker here, and I just wanted to, I'm coming live because I am going to be interviewing a really good friend of mine, Letasha Howe. So I'm going to try to, request her to join me. So I think that she might have to be on here live watching. So technology is not exactly my strong point, so you might just have to be a little bit patient with me. Anyway, Letasha is here. So yay! All right, adding, connecting. Woohoo! Hey, Letasha.
Is it working?
How are you? Glad that it worked. Yes, you were on with me. All right, so Letasha, I'm just going to introduce you quickly because I didn't have a chance to introduce you yet.
Okay.
So Letasha is amazing to me because she just basically has her shit together. Mum of two, business owner, figure competitor, and honestly, Natasha, you have one of the strongest mindsets that I've ever come across. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to chat with you today and interview you, is because I just think that you could share so many wonderful tidbits with so many people.
Okay.
So do you want to just like say a few words or?
No, you could go.
No, all right. And if anybody else is on, just say hello. This is going to be like an informal kind of just like chat. But if you have any questions, anybody who is watching, just comment them. And even if you are watching this afterwards, just if you have any questions, comment them and we can definitely get back to you.
Oh yeah, I do have something to say. I didn't realize you like posted this on my timeline. So some of my friends are watching. So for all you guys who do not know, Louise is awesome. She's one of my coaches. I have many. And I am so shy and busy to get up live. And I know a lot of people had questions. So I was like, well, why don't you just interview me? That would set aside time and I could be able to go and answer some questions that a lot of people had on figure competition and losing weight as well.
Cool. And I think this is a great way to do it because sometimes it can be kind of weird if you're just looking into the camera and you're just like talking about yourself. Like it feels a bit weird, right? Like it's just kind of narcissistic. But I think that it's not, because I think that there are so many people who just like don't think it's even possible to do what you're doing, and here you are and you're doing it with such a great mindset. So that's why I think that hey Kelly, thanks for joining, lady. It's just a great chance to chat with you and kind of get your perspective. So do you just want to tell us a little bit about what it is you do in terms of who you are? Like I said that you're a mum of two, you have your own business, you were in figure competitions, but what does that mean? Like, what is a figure competition? A lot of people might not even know. And what is your business?
So my business is just life coaching, holistic transformation. So I like working with people, mind, body, heart, and soul. Only because I think that most people, when they get into fitness, they just think about, you hear like the 80-20, it's about your nutrition, it's about working out, it's about the people you're around, going to the gym, moving. But for me, it was really hard. Because I feel like you carry your emotions with you as you go to the gym. You carry your mindset with you as you're trying to work out or eat right. You carry your soul with you. I know soul is connected with my food. And so for me, it's not just about just working on my body. If I'm working on my body, I need to look and check with the other parts of me to make sure that it's whole so that I could be able to work out. So I started these programs where it's just like, all right, if I want to work out or eat clean or whatever it may be, the diet that I went on or to figure competition, I need to also make sure that I'm mentally there, emotionally there, soulfully there. So that's kind of where my coaching started. And a lot of people started saying, yeah, I understand where you're going from, because, there's a laundry list of what's failing. So that's kind of the essence of who I am. I actually am an engineer, problem solver, and I always look at problems and how to solve it. So in addition to like I said, nutrition, working out, I'm constantly listening to people to figure out why can't they lose weight? Why can't they eat right? Why are you not getting there? Why aren't you being the best version of yourself? And I'm constantly trying to answer that question that most people don't even think about. They just keep on trying to push themselves forward. So
Right.
how did that get into figure competition? That's a long story, but to summarize it, I just had a lot of trauma going through my life, and I just sat down and I just did the full evaluation. What do I want in life? What is my purpose? I didn't know all the answers. All I know is I wanted to be the best version of myself. So I just did that. I set a goal for each part of me, my mind, body, heart, and soul, and set that out. Body's easy to look at. So I said, what is the best version of myself? And it was just looking very fit. And then I had to dig deep. What does fit mean? It meant that when I run and do cardio, that I'm not jiggling. My thighs are not touching. Get rid of the cellulite. I would like an hourglass figure. You know, I would like to keep that. It was just feeling strong. And then I started going deeper and deeper. I have joint issues, my skin, my hair. Like, you know, you think of your body, but it's not just about, like I said, the nutrition and working out. It's just all of you. And so I'm an extremist. I set a goal. I was like, well, then in order to be the best version of myself, I need to get really fit. Who's the most fit person? So it was either the ninja warriors or figure competition. So I went with figure competition because my joints are actually not ready for any of those obstacle course right now. So I did lifting.
Do you see it in your future?
I would love to. So that would be an ultimate goal. It's not a realistic goal. It's one of those. So I have two different piles. I have really realistic that I could set a goal for and shoot for it. And then there's this ultimate dream. Ultimately, I would love to lift my own body weight, do pull-ups, push-ups. You know, you see all those yogas. But since I've been a teenager, I've had always joint issues. So I have to. It's on my list to work past those things, so I could maybe one day do it. Maybe.
And how do you see yourself working past those joint issues? Do you see it like just physical or nutrition as well?
It's all. So that's what I said. It's all, right? So if you think of your body, it is physical. I did physical therapy. I went to doctors. I don't have arthritis. I don't have anything, but it's just, they just hurt. When it rains, I'm just in a lot of pain. I tried acupuncture. I tried medicine. I tried turmeric. And that's where the whole holistic part came into it. It was kind of, I'm really spiritual. So it's more, instead of me just trying to figure out these answers, why don't I meditate and pray about it? You know, and that's, I don't know why it took me this long. I'm in my 30s to think of that, but it was just, I want to get rid of this joint pain. I don't want to have surgery. I want to be able to move forward. How does that look like? And now it is really holistic. And what was the missing piece was stretching. I wasn't like, and I'm not saying stretching like, you know, I really have to do a good session of yoga to help with my knees and shoulders. And then the other part was lifting, building muscles around my joints, because my ligaments and tendons are really weak. And it was after having kids and wear and tear, playing a lot of sports. And I'm afraid of getting older. So it's just like, you need to start building muscle now so you could be stronger, you know, when you're in your 50s or 70s, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And something you said before about taking a holistic approach. I think that mindset is so important in, you know, you said that you wanted to do the figure competition. Like going into a workout with a strong mindset is more important than maybe even just doing the workout, because if you go, you can put the time in, but into a workout, like you can work out an hour a day, 7 days a week. Right. But if your mindset is not there, if you're just kind of like half-assing it, there's no point in doing it. You're wasting your time. Right. And I have been there myself. Like I have definitely done those kind of workouts where I'm just like, oh, I'm just checking it off. Like I just need to get it done. Right. And like I might as well not do the workout. So, you know, and you're right, because it's there's two parts for me that happened, right? So I told you I did an evaluation on my mind, body, heart, and soul, and I'm strong-minded, I'm strong soulfully, emotionally and physically, I'm weaker, just to say, even though I look physically fit. So that's why I said, okay, let me go into the gym. I don't like the gym. If I could dance, I would dance for hours, 4 or 6 hours. I could do that. I used to do that in college. Just go out Latin dancing, internationally dancing all the time, but that doesn't help with your ligaments and joints. So I knew I needed to get to the gym. Then when it got to the gym, it didn't work out because mentally,
because of all the issues and problems going through my life, I was literally like on the treadmill on elliptical, and like I was just in deep thought, and I wasn't really getting a proper workout. If there was something stressful happening with my kids or at work, I was just, my emotions, my heart and my mind and my soul was just so divided from my body, and I didn't get the full workout. So yeah, you have to like, I had to start meditating pretty much when I get into the gym after meditation, I felt very relieved. I felt very relaxed. Then I hit a second phase with the figure competition, which is I went into strict training, and I shouldn't say I hated, but it was like, oh my goodness, I was working out for at least 3 hours for the, like, divided or all together. And I'm like, I just don't want to do this. But I knew mentally that I needed to. So I knew that I needed to meditate, but I also knew my body wasn't ready because it wasn't used to the nutrition. It wasn't used to the diet. It wasn't used to the lifting and the workouts and pushing through. So I just told myself, you just need to do it and commit to it, and you'll see results. And then I don't think it was until the third phase when I started seeing results. My coach was like, yes, do you see that? I'm like, no, I'm tired. When am I going to eat cake again? Like, you know, it was just always these. And I think I was in deep training for 4 months. And it was not until probably the last 3 weeks that I started to see results because I wasn't focused on it. But I'm happy.
Right.
I'm happy I did it because I trusted my coach. So if I didn't have a coach, I would have never done it. But I trusted her and I trusted the process. That's one of the biggest sayings.
So you were able, even though you didn't see the results right away, even though you weren't like, you didn't really trust the process to begin with, you trusted your coach, like you kept going because you were meditating, and so you were getting your head in the game.
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't know if I said this. So again, I wanted to be the best version of myself, and the best version of myself was fit, was curvy, was muscular, no cellulite. Like there was just this person I envisioned, and I wanted her. So that was the goal. But she was so far away. She is still far away. And so I just needed some motivation, just a baby step. And the only baby step I had was my coach knew what she was doing. And I trusted her. And if I didn't see results by the time the figure competition, I would just be angry at her. But it was a commitment. I'm a mental person. So it was just a mental and emotional commitment, because emotionally, I literally wanted to quit a lot of times. I actually, there was a couple of things that happened last minute. Like I'm trying to sell a house. I'm getting certified internationally for coaching, life coaching. I'm dealing with clients, and it was May, which was a lot of graduations. There were weddings. There was just a lot of stuff going on. And I was like, this is not priority right now. I'm already fit. So let me just quit. And she looked at me like, no, you've come this far. You need to go. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if that makes sense.
Because, and you also came from like a standing of having a really strong mindset.
Yeah.
Right, like you showed me before a piece of paper with like the division between like, what is it, mind,
body, heart, and soul. That's it.
So can you just explain to people exactly what that is? Because when you showed me that, it was a really good visual, and I think that it would be great for other people to kind of be able to do that for their own lives.
Okay, I write it down? Like I didn't even realize that. Can you give me 2 seconds? I might have that.
Yeah, sure.
Hold on.
Go ahead. So while Natasha's gone, what she was talking about is she did a figure competition in May, I think it was. So I don't really know much about like bodybuilding competitions, bikini, etc. But what she told me is that there are 4 categories. Bodybuilding, which is like very muscular, fit body, figure, and bikini. So I was just saying while you were gone, Letasha, that there are 4 categories. Right. And I think you went in figure and fit.
Yes, I did. Figure
right?
and fit body, yes. Did you want to talk about that or the...
just say what they are, like what.
Yeah, they're just so originally they started off with bodybuilding. Men did a lot of bodybuilding, and then they introduced women, and they had women bodybuilders. But you have to be a certain physique to bodybuild as a woman. You kind of have to have the broad shoulders and the thick thighs. And then the next one is figure. Figure is not as muscular. It's just defined muscles, but lean. Fit body is more tight and more defined. So it's kind of like your total, you could see the lines in your legs, you could see the lines in your arms and your back. And I genetically seem to be more good at the fit body versus figure is more soft. You don't have to have the defined lines. It would be that ideal model, Instagram model you would see.
Yeah, okay.
And then bikini, most people know bikini. It's the thin, like almost 0% body fat, fit, you know, models that you would see, you know, like the Victoria's Secret models, those would be bikini.
Yeah.
But the industry and the sport is actually getting really good. Like even bikini models are working out and getting really fit and defined. They're just not muscular, like bodybuilders.
Yeah. All right. So do you have a piece of paper?
Yeah, I have one that I usually give my clients. You was talking about this one?
That's right. Yeah.
Perfect. So
I can't really see what it is. Can you just tell people what it is?
Oh yeah. I don't know if you can say it.
Oh yes.
So
heart, soul, mind, and body.
Yeah, that's it. You know, when you think of, you know, you hear people say, what's the best version of myself? And like I said, when it comes to fitness, like summertime is coming and all you hear is, what do I need to exercise and what do I need to eat? But nobody talks about, well, they'll talk about the emotional eating, but they won't talk about why the emotions is behind that and why they can't move forward. They won't talk about the holistic approach to it. I feel like they're so divided. It's like, get over your emotional problems and then come to the gym. And so I kind of wanted to say, like I was saying earlier, like, you know, your mind, body, heart, and soul, you take all of that with you to the gym. So when you go to there, I think you need to do some type of exercise to get yourself to the gym holistically prepared, if that makes sense. So if my kids got on my nerves that morning and I was yelling and screaming, I don't know if I'm going to really have a good, well, some people actually would be like, those kids, I hate, you know,
Motivate.
And they would be pumped up. Not me. I emotionally would be deprived and I wouldn't be focused on my workout. So for me, I knew if something emotionally was happening with me that morning or mentally, I needed to take care of it before I go to the gym. If that makes sense.
So it's really important to be self-aware.
Very.
And to know how your emotions affect you and to get your emotions in check and just be able to focus.
So I don't know if you could see that. I wish we could have done it. So kind of like a chart. I would do like on a weekly or monthly basis now. I would say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, where is my heart? For the best version of myself, how am I doing emotionally? And then how am I doing mentally? How am I doing physically? How am I doing emotionally today? And I would rate that. And you can, you know, what you would want is for all of it to be balanced. And what I mean by balance is you don't need all of it to be a 10. Like, I don't think I'm a perfect 10 because I'm not my ideal self, but I would want everything to be 7, like around a 7. I would want to physically feel like a 7, emotionally, mentally, soulfully. And of course, because I'm a mental person, I'm always going to spike up to a 10, but that's fine. But like I said,
and I think that maybe we will never be, and probably never will be, our perfect selves ever. I don't think we're never going to be a 10 consistently in everything. And you know, if we judge ourselves based on that, if we think we failed because we're not a 10 all the time, like that's crazy because life happens, right? We're all busy people. We're mums. We have businesses. We work, whatever. So we just have to kind of be the best version of ourselves. And maybe the best version right now is a 7 or even a 5.
It doesn't. So I met somebody and they were, I always do this rating. So that's one of the tips. So if you ever want to know how I did it, is I did this on a weekly basis. I would rate myself and figure out if the whole purpose is to figure out if you're balanced. You want to make sure that you're balanced and not out of whack or going on a roller coaster. And I had one person and they were low. They were probably like 4 and 3 all around. And they was like so discouraged after saying that because there was so much trauma going through their life. And they said, you know what, to encourage you, this is actually good. You're actually balanced because I know everything sucks, but you're not out of whack, because if you was out of whack, you would have to be working on one area and bringing you back to your balance and then get into your goal. But right now it's easier because everything is around a 3. So all we have to do is elevate you up to a 4 or 5.
Right,
And then
right. That's really interesting.
you see what I mean? Like it's just a different way, because like I said, when we think about nutrition, it's just, I want to be the best version, and everybody wants to be this supermodel or this buff person, or, you know, just eat right. Food is my weakness, you know, but I don't think I'm going to really eat right.
Those carbs.
I love my carbs. I love wine and cake. I work out to eat cake and drink wine. I'm sorry.
Amen. So you said that you were working out when you were training for the figure competition, that you were working out like 3 hours a day.
It moved up. So here's what I meant by the program, right? So I was working out maybe 45 minutes. You know, you go into the gym to an hour at the most, but I needed to start lifting on all parts of my bodies, and I had basically not a lot of muscle. And so it went from like an hour to an hour and a half. And then I had, I started off with at least 23% body fat, and you're supposed to go into competition like close to 10, 11. So I had to, well, only on stage, not forever, but on stage. Yeah. So I had to do it.
But that's a lot of body fat to lose.
I had to.
It's not easy.
I started losing the fat last year. This year, I think I probably got down to probably close to 20, but I had to do a lot of cardio to get from 20 to probably 16%, which is how I came into the competition. It was a lot of cardio. So she was like, yeah, you need to lift, but you also need to start, you know, doing cardio. So it went from 90 minutes to at least 2 hours. And then what started getting frustrated was I had to target certain parts. Like my glutes are the ones that I need to target. I needed to come better in my back. So I started having to understand the different lifting positions. I had to YouTube them. And like I said, when a lot of things are going on, you have to like 90 minutes is a lot at the gym, and you have to holistically be there and motivated.
Right.
And like I said, a person like me, I don't come from a workout and say, yes, that was like the best workout ever. That's not me. If like I said, put me on a dance floor, I would do that for hours. But working out, I didn't have a goal. So the goal became, well, I want to get into this competition. Maybe I could win. Maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. Maybe. And my coach said,
and how did you fit it into your life? Like, I'm just thinking, sometimes I struggle fitting in half an hour workout in my house.
So as a project manager, right, you would have, so I turned project management into our mom life, right? So on a daily basis, I literally have a list. I have me, I have my home, I have the kids, I have the finances, you have your business, and you have your other relationships. And pretty much you have to list those things and then block it out. And what I mean by block it out is, if you try to hit all those things in one day, you're probably going to fail, because that's too much stuff to do for the day. And so you had to kind of spread out what you wanted to do. So a lot of sacrifices was probably the home. I didn't get to the dishes a lot. The dog's nails, I still hear them on the floor. There was certain sacrifices I knew that was going on that I did on a daily basis, but I had to lump them up into another day because I needed to fit 3 hours every day. So I would look at my calendar and say, these are the times that I could work out. The worst part was when I started to have to get up around 5:30, because my days were getting so busy, and I'm dead to the world at 5 o'clock in the morning. Even after a meditation, I have no motivation. But like I said, I trusted my coach. She said I was doing well. So I had to get up 5:30, 6 o'clock and go to the gym.
And you had a big goal, right? Like, so having that big goal, like, kind of in your mind really helps you on those days where you're like, oh my God, I'm just dead.
And so another trick then I would say, and I would probably turn it over to you, is when you evaluate your mind, body, heart, and soul, find out which one is dominant. So my mind is very, very dominant. So to satisfy my mind with a goal empowers me. So like I said, eating food and working out but knowing that, listen, you could probably win a competition. You could actually do good. Like, that literally empowers me and makes me feel like I'm the woman, like I'm Superwoman.
Right.
Versus if I know emotional people that if they're very emotional, they need to know emotionally, I'm going to look good. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to be the best version of myself. They kind of have to be narcissistic. I'm not saying they should, but it's just to get into that mindset of loving themselves,
Right. And this, I think this, you know, if you are going to be doing something like, well, a professional athlete or doing something like a competition, you have to be a little bit narcissistic. You have to be selfish. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
Like, to be the absolute best version of yourself, you have to prioritize yourself. You have to prioritize going to the gym, doing the nutrition, getting your mind in the game. And I think that we, you know, as a society, obviously there's a bad side of narcissism as well, but there's also a good side, which is being the absolute best version of yourself. Like, if you talk to any professional athlete or look at any of the interviews with a professional athlete, they all say that they have to be narcissistic. They have to be selfish in some way. I think Letasha might have frozen. Hey, lady. All right. Well, anyway, I think that she gave us a great idea about how she used her mindset to get her head in the game, because I think that having that mindset is one of the most important things. It's actually, I'm going to see if she's going to be back on. Oh, there she is. Really important to have the mindset in the game, and I think that is the strongest thing. Like, you have to. Hey, Letasha.
I'm back. Sorry.
That's all right. I was just saying how important it is. Well, I was saying how it's okay to be narcissistic, and it's okay to be selfish when you know, are absolutely going towards being the best version of yourself, whether that is as a professional athlete or in a figure competition or whatever. And then how important, like how critical being in the right mindset is to being the best version of yourself, to being a competitor, to having to really developing the physical side of yourself, the emotional side of yourself.
Right.
All right, so you fit it in by basically time blocking, by allowing some things to go by the wayside and being okay with that. Like, not being like, oh my God, like I can't get my house together, I'm failing, whatever. But you were like, you know what, this is a priority, this is not a priority. That's okay, that I will get to that at a later date.
Again, back to holistic. So it would still be, I constantly use the word temporary. So it was, I did, because if I just said that, I still, emotionally, I would be affected. I would, every time I came home, I would be like, my house is a mess, and I would want to quit, because emotionally, home is more important than me being selfish. So it was, as a project manager, you only have a certain amount of priorities. This needs to stay focused as a priority for the time being. Since this is high priority, my home is going to be low priority temporarily until I finish the competition. By saying
so it's not like your house is always going to be a disaster.
Correct. And that's
actually a really good point. I feel like we can often really like, not dramatize, that's not the right word, but like make things into a bigger deal than what they are. Like for example, thinking like, oh my God, I'm always going to be like a mess, or my house is always going to be a mess. It's not, it's temporary, like you said.
And that was the key, because like I said, there was a few times that I was just like, this is not worth it. I'll do it in the fall. I have too much going on. But when you said, like, so I also compare it to like working a job. So if you are on a project, you can't just go to your boss and say, well, because I don't feel like it, or emotionally what's going on at my house, I can't do it. Unless if it's something legit and you're really sick and you need to, right. But for the most part, you actually, because money is there, you know, you have to push through your emotional and your mental issues. So I'm starting to use those same analogies as, well, why do I need to push through it? Because I need to love myself. I'm constantly giving to society, to my kids, to my home, to my dog. But how many hours do I invest in myself? And so I need to be narcissistic, but not so much that I want to be selfish, but it's the oxygen mask thing. Like, if I didn't do this, how would I be an example to my daughter and my son on what it means to be physically fit and to be healthy? I don't want them to go to this extremes, but I want them to know that they could be able to do this, you know?
And they've seen that you can do this and that you have worked really hard to get something. Like, that's a fantastic example to them. So where do you see yourself going from here? Like, you did all of this work towards a competition. A lot of people will be like, oh my God, give me all the dessert. I'm never going in the gym again.
So I did. I gained like 10 to 12 pounds because I pounded in the carbs. But I did it on purpose. I knew, like, so part of my training is I fluctuate in weight a lot. I'm actually naturally, my family's naturally thick. So it's not easy for me to be skinny, and people don't know that. So if you just met me now, I look fit, but it's really hard. It's really hard for me to stay this way. I love carbs. I like rice and beans. I love everything. So I know that I need to set another goal. So another goal is to actually, I wasn't doing this to go on stage to compete and be number one. It was really to be an example for my clients, to show them that they could be able to do it as well. But this time I think I want to be able to, get, first place. Like I want to compete to see if this sport is for me. I didn't think it was for me originally. I just thought it was a bunch of like the bikini model people who are like self-conceited, but I was getting on stage very nervous. I was sweating up a storm. These beautiful, muscular women, but not muscular. They were like sexy, and I'm walking with them and I'm telling them they've competed. They're like, oh, they were giving me so many hints and advice, encouragement before I'm going on stage to compete against them. They're like, you could do it.
That's amazing.
So I've never had that type of environment with women. To me, like, I thought it was going to be very catty, very competitive, but they all know the sacrifices that everybody has to make. So all they do is encourage each other day and night, because it's a lot of you're making a lot of sacrifices. So I love that energy. So I'll do it again.
Yeah.
So
would you say, sorry, you'll do it again?
I do it again, yes, because like I said, my ultimate goal is to be a certain weight, is to be a certain figure. So I have to start building muscle. I have to keep up with the protein and stop with the cake. I could have wine, I think. So I really, I need to change my lifestyle around, which is going to take some time. So that's what I'm working on right now, is how do I balance the parties, the outings, the gatherings, and keep my protein count high, which is, when I'm saying high, I need to eat at least 4 meals a day of protein, 4 ounces of protein, and drink a protein shake.
Wow.
That's
so you really have to keep on top of it, right?
Yeah, and that's just for my weight right now. If I increase any muscle mass, I have to increase that protein.
Too.
That's a lot of meat. That's a lot. That's a lot of food. And you can't eat it in one sitting. If I were to eat it in one sitting, that's fine. That's like going to a barbecue. But this is managing your metabolism, and it's a lot of discipline.
Well, you've definitely inspired me, Letasha, and I was amazed by you, because you fit it all in as a mum, as a business owner, as you are such a part of your community, and you just did it. And it's amazing to me. And I know that it was amazing to a lot of people on our team as well. So that's why I really wanted to chat with you today, so that you can share that knowledge with so many other people as well.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Is there anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I still think my message is still, I still challenge everybody watching this to, set a goal for being the best version of themselves, and stop looking at me, stop looking at Louise, stop looking at all these people, unless they're going to inspire you to push forward. But, what I did or what Louise does, that is not you. It's not the ultimate version of you. It might be like you, but I don't think people set aside time to figure out what the best version of themselves looks like. You have a unique DNA. You was created here on earth for the purpose, I believe. And I think that you should start looking inwardly to start improving yourself. And from there, you can be able to inspire me, inspire other people, and figure out, inspire your kids, your coworkers, your husband, wife, whatever it may be. And you can be able to start living the best life you could live, I believe. So
totally agree. Like, stay in your lane, just do you, and be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, that's
awesome. Thank you so much, Letasha. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me and getting me on camera.
You're welcome. All right, chat soon.
Later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.